So the food in Puerto Rico is amazing. I love it. It's a lot of rice and beans. Something that I was like expecting was like spices, but really there wasn't really anything spicy that I ever had. But it's really good. It's super good. They use, I forgot what it's called, but it's like this salty seasoning. They use it on everything, and I love it. It's really good. One of my favorite things, let's see, I really like tostones, which is it's just like a side dish, but it's served with everything. It's breadfruit, or they make it of plátanos también as well, sorry. It's like a french fry, and it's not a french fry though, it's breadfruit. But they smash it, and then they deep fry it, and then they like sprinkle salt or that like salty seasoning on it, and it's super good. It just tastes like a french fry. They have fry sauce there. They don't call it fry sauce though, they call it mayo ketchup. It's really good. I really love it, and it's super easy to make. Also, they have this thing called pastelón, which is lasagna, but instead of the noodles, it's banana. So it sounds really weird, but it's so good. It has like cheese and the sauce and meat, and oh, it's really good. You will love it. You have to try it. They also have this other thing called mofongo, which is really good. Usually people in Puerto Rico eat it with meat. Like they'll get like lamb with it or chicken or something, but we would always order it plain because it was cheaper. So we'd order plain mofongo, and we'd just put the fry sauce on it and eat it. And they just thought we were so crazy because he would never, like none of the Puerto Ricans would ever do that because they just always ate it with meat. So whenever we'd order it, they'd be like, really? Like, you don't want any meat? And we're like, no, it's okay. So mofongo is really, really good. So I've been really excited to share this story because it's so funny. So one day we locked the keys in the house, and we were like, we had an appointment, and so we had to leave, and so we're just like, okay, we'll figure it out later, like what to do about the fact that we're locked out of our house and have nowhere to sleep tonight. So we ended up just leaving for the day to go teach, and our keys were still in the house, and we went out to teach. And then at about 9, we're like, oh yeah, our keys are still in our house. We don't know how we're gonna get home. How we're gonna get inside of our house. And so we decided to go ask our neighbor if he would be able to climb up. We lived on the second floor of like this duplex, and she said that one time he climbed up and got inside of the house. And so I'm like, okay, let's do that. And so we went over to our neighbor and we're like, hola, buenas noches. And we're like, can you come help us? And our keys are in our house. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And so he comes over and he has a knife. And it was a little freaky for me, but he has like a knife and he puts it in his mouth. Like he bites on the knife and starts scowling the building. Like he climbs up the building like a ninja. And it was so amazing. I was just like, oh wow, like I can't believe he's doing that. But anyways, so he gets up there, like flings himself up on the balcony, I don't know how, with a knife in his mouth. And he breaks open the lock without breaking it. Like he just opens it somehow magically. And he gets in and goes and gets us inside of our house. And so it was crazy. He was like Spider-Man. But the funny part is that after that, I had an idea. I was like, well, he just did this nice thing for us. Like, I feel like I have to give him something, or like thank him for his services. And earlier that day, I had made cornbread. And so I was like, oh yeah, I have some cornbread, like it's on top of the freezer. I'm gonna go and get him some. And we go over there, and the cornbread was like, it was covered in these little ants. I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but it was covered in these little ants that like roam our house, that roam like every house in Puerto Rico. There's lots of insects. But anyway, so there was like these little like teeny ants, and I had already told him that I would get him some cornbread. He said he wanted some. And so I ended up just like brushing off the ants and like blowing them off and feeding him the cornbread anyways. And it was really funny. And so I always joke about that. I'm like, why did I do that? Like, why did I give him ant-infested cornbread? But I'm sure he was grateful. And he had some juice, too, to wash it down. So one thing I love about Puerto Ricans is that they're all really spiritual. They all believe in Jesus Christ and in God. Okay, not all of them, but the majority of all of them believe in God and want to serve him and believe that there is a God. And that's such a blessing. A lot of people are really laid back. It's an island, so they just feel like island life, and they just really do what they want. So the coqui frog is one of my favorite things about Puerto Rico. It's this little teeny frog that makes the most beautiful noise, and it just sounds so cute. And it does it all night long in every area of Puerto Rico. You can just hear it all night, and it's beautiful. And I'm not going to try to make the sound because, yeah, I'd mess up. But it's really cool. And I remember hearing the coqui that night as I walked home, and I just remember feeling so grateful that I could be in this area